Well, hello, good people. Today we're going to look at ON1 Photo Raw 2023 Skyswap AI. So first things first, if you happen to have your own skies, or perhaps you purchase some AccuDrone skies, which by the way, I am an affiliate for AccuDrone as well. And if you want to purchase any of their skies, I'll leave links in the description below. But what you want to do is head over to Sky here, click on that. And then you'll see an option to import. Once you click on that, you're going to see this dialog box, and you simply have to just go into the Skies tab here. Now the other way, which is more of the general way to do this to manage your extras, as it says here, you want to head over to File, Manage Extras, and then you'll get all the same options here. We just need to tab over, select Skies. On the bottom left, you'll see Import. And what you do is locate where your skies are. You select the folder. In this case, I'm going to click on Undeniably Dramatic Skies. You click on Open, select all your skies. Next, you'll have an option to choose your category. In this case, we're going to add a category. It's going to rename it according to the folder. Simply press OK, and then you'll see that it is added in this section here. Now, word of advice while this loads, especially for AccuDrone skies, since the files are 8K images, make sure you put them on a fast hard drive like an SSD. Otherwise, when you go to work with it, it might be quite a bit laggy. So we simply have to close this now. And if I were to go into the sky area here, let's select the category. And by default, you already have some built-in AccuDrone skies, but the ones that I just installed here, it says My Skies, and then you see all the ones that I've installed here. So if I select Undeniably Dramatic Skies, it's going to bring up that category, and there we go. So for the most part, the Skyswap AI works great for images like this that have good separation from the subject to the background. And if we zoom in here closely, we see that even between the trees, it really doesn't need too much work. Now, with a lot of the AI type of functions in any program, it's not perfect. So this image isn't the best capture in the world, but it'll help me demo problematic issues and what you can do to fix it. So first off, I'm going to bring the exposure up just a bit here, bring the midtones up a little bit, and even some of the shadows. Let's give it a bit of contrast. Now I'm going to apply Skyswap AI, so we're going to click on Sky, and let's do something simple. We're going to click on Sunset. Let's use this as an example. So you see the skies overlapping the building. And if we click on the mask here, click on View, you see that the mask selection is not the greatest. Even if I play around with the levels here, that's not exactly what I want. I want the buildings to be selected. So in this case, Skyswap doesn't do a great job masking. However, this is where Mask AI is so very useful. So if we go under Mask AI here, click on the drop down, you'll see that there's an option for sky. Let's select sky, click apply, and we want to make sure that we change paint out to paint in. And then if we click on view, we're going to see now the selection is much better. However, we have some problem areas. The top of the CN tower here is missing, and there's some edges here that we have to refine. So what I would do with this is first go and look for opacity. Let's scroll down a bit. Let's bring the opacity down where we can see the top of the CN tower. We're going to zoom in super close here and just focus on this top part. All right. Now by default, we have our mask selection selected so we can make corrections. So what we're going to do is increase the brush size, and I have my opacity at 80, my feathering at 26. And we want to make sure we're on paint out. There we go. Let's click our starting point. We're going to hold shift and left click. And by doing this, you can create a straight line. So let me show you on the sky here. So I'm going to select this as my starting point, come up here, hold shift, and it'll make a straight line. So this is very beneficial for structures like buildings, things with straight lines. So we're going to zoom in a little bit more and do the same thing for this area, but we're going to decrease our brush. Your bracket keys are your shortcut to increase or decrease the brush size. So there's our starting point. Going to hold shift and click, and then repeat the process for this little tip here. click, shift, click, and there we go. Now, don't worry about the edges. We'll get there in a second. So again, I'm going to make my brush size roughly the width of what I want to correct. So we're going to do the same thing. Click, shift, click. There we go. And then I'm going to just manually do this part here very carefully. Also up here, we're going to do this very carefully. And of course, if you want to be super accurate, just decrease your brush size. And you might want to do this a couple of times, like if you're only doing like a 80% opacity, you may want to do it a couple of times just to make sure you're getting everything through. Or if you're a risk taker, just put it at 100%. It's really up to you. I'm just going to go over these one more time. Now, if I zoom out, that looks a lot better than what it looked like before. But if you're a stickler like I am sometimes, and you want to be super accurate, the other way you can take care of haloing is to go into Refine and select the Chisel Mask here. Make sure your amount is, I'd start with 10. What the chisel does is it refines these little edges. So if I kind of just go on the outside there, make sure you're on remove. So if I just kind of go along the side here, you see that these little haloed edges, they're going to get refined there. There we go. Now that's a bit of a sloppy job by me, but you get my point. So maybe we'll need a smaller brush here. Go by the edge here, you see that it starts to take care of those haloing. If you get these jagged edge lines, again from a distance, not going to be a big difference, but we can go to our mask and paint these out once again. I'm going to minimize my brush, hold shift and click, and it's going to take care of those areas there. Here we probably have to manually do it, which is fine, but you get my point. Along the building here, we see the same thing. So we want to paint in the sky, so we're going to select this corner. And probably to about this point, hold shift, and there we go. Now I'm going to change the opacity. Let's try 40. I'm going to select this area, hold shift. And don't worry about those lines. We'll come back to that in a second. And the other thing to keep in mind is that, you already have your starting point, so no need to click here again. Just go to your next destination, hold shift and click. And then we're going to take care of all these edges here, right? And for opacity, we're going to bring it down to 30, increase the brush size just a tad, and then we're just going to blend in the mask here so that we don't see too many of the lines. I might even be tempted to use 20, so it's more of a gradual effect. And you should really zoom in as much as you can. It is a bit of work to do manually. However, if you recall the original selection the Skyswap did, it was pretty terrible. But yeah, you would continue to do this until you get a good looking mask. You would have to blend this in. Blending in the mask, you want to use a fairly low opacity, so it's very gradual. Now the other thing we can do, which is a new addition with ON1 2023, let's open the mask here. Let's view it. And you'll notice you have level sliders now. And basically what that is refines the mask. You see that it has sort of a feathered mask effect. If we bring the highlight slider down, you see that it defines those edges even more. And then let's take the midtone slider. Now you see we're starting to lose some of the mask. So we don't want to adjust this one too much. But if we use the highlight slider, you see what's happening to the mask. It becomes less blurry and more defined. But for the most part, it can work in certain situations. So other than the cleaning up we had to do at the top, Mask AI would definitely help me speed up the process. I'm going to show you one more example using the Occudrone skies. I'm going to choose these crystal blue skies. And again, this is a problematic picture because these buildings have a lot of reflection. So it's not really making a great selection. If we click on the mask here and we click on view, you see the same thing. It's not really making a great selection. So again, Mask AI to the rescue. We click on apply. Make sure we change it to paint in. And at this point, this is where I would play with the levels first before I make any manual corrections, just to see, can I make the mask better? So now you see with Mask AI, it's made a way better selection. So if we turn this on and off, that's the original sky. And this is the OcuDrone sky that we just imported. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about Mask AI, Super Select AI, I did do a video on it previously when it was in beta. Make sure to check it out here. Spoiler alert, I was right. I'll have some updated views on that very soon. But until then, my good people, I'll see you when I see you.